Good morning to you all. Thank you for joining us this morning on this historic occasion. We welcome you to this official launch of the collaboration between the National School of Government of South Africa and the World Economic Forum, as represented by the two colleagues who are joining us from Switzerland this morning. We have a short and crisp program, which is to announce this collaboration. More details are and will be available even after the session taking place this morning. This is a live broadcast. Please do turn off your microphones. Those of you who may have questions are at liberty to use the Q&A session. We will coordinate with our colleagues from WEF and ourselves here in Pretoria to answer some of your questions if you do have. I'm pleased to welcome here today our Deputy Minister, Honorable Dr. Chanama Jagash. She is here. She's our Deputy Minister as the National School of Government. We belong to a big portfolio which includes other departments like Public Service and Administration, the Center for Public Service Innovation, as there is others as well, including their responsibility over a government, pension scheme. So welcome to you, Deputy Minister. We're also joined by our Minister, Honorable Ayanda Dlodlo, who will be the one making remarks later on in this program. And in Geneva, there's two colleagues who are joining us. You can see them in a blue screen written WEF studio. These are the colleagues that we have been working with over the past couple of months as National School of Government. Stephen and Chido, they are going to wave. They will be making remarks as well later on. We have a short program, as you can see, which is what we are screening just now. I will be removing it from screen so that we can proceed with our program. Once again, we welcome you all to this session, and we hope that you will find this very valuable. I'm not going to be spending time talking about the content of the relationship and what it does, because there's a risk of repeating what the colleagues will be saying, those who appear on the program, including our Honorable Minister. So if you then allow me, colleagues, let me request our colleagues in Geneva to play a video about WEF, and we will then proceed with the program. Over to you, WEF Studio.
In today's world, individuals and organizations have to operate in a constantly evolving environment. The overwhelming amount of information at our disposal can make it difficult to focus and prioritize, let alone understand the big picture. This makes the ability to tap into a curated global network of experts from academia, government, business, and civil society a decisive strategic asset for any organization. And this is why Strategic Intelligence now offers advanced features that enable its users to deep dive and make sense of issues that are the most relevant to them. For example, let's say you want to understand how the Internet of Things can drive sustainability in different sectors. On our current transformation map, you will find that by selecting thoughtful rules and standards, the Internet of Things can unlock a wide range of benefits for energy, mobility, and food systems. But let's imagine you are interested in additional sectors or in diving deeper on these topics. By creating your custom map, you can explore the dynamics most relevant to you and your organization. For instance, you might want to look into ways the Internet of Things creates sustainability opportunities for digitalization in the electricity sector, smarter infrastructure and energy efficiency in the mobility sector, the expansion of circular models, how it can help curb water waste, and enable more efficient food systems. Your custom maps effectively become a dynamic monitoring framework embedded in the wider strategic intelligence ecosystem. Every day, our built-in machine learning and artificial intelligence system scans thousands of the world's most trusted research publications and pieces of analysis on hundreds of topics, allowing for the deeper exploration of your selected issues. This information is summarized in continuously updated briefings specific to each map. Strategic Intelligence advanced features can also help identify priority signals emerging within your areas of interest, including key clusters and trending topics. This allows you to get clarity out of complexity, stay abreast of the latest global developments, and drive strategic conversations within your organization. Start now.
Thank you, Principal Nkaweni, for that introduction. From Geneva, Switzerland, my name is Chido Munyati. I am the head of Africa at the World Economic Forum. And on behalf of the World Economic Forum, I'm very happy to be part of the special occasion where we are announcing and launching a special partnership between the National School of Government and the World Economic Forum. As you alluded to, Principal, I'd also like to acknowledge some of the special guests that we have on this call this morning, starting with the Honorable Minister of Public Service Administration, Ms. Ndlondlo, as well as the Deputy Minister, Dr. Philani Majeke. I'd also like to acknowledge Ms. Vumendlini, who's the Deputy Director General for International Regional Economic Policy at the National Treasury. I work very closely with Ms. Vumendlini, so very happy to see you this morning, as well as Ms. Kawunda, the Deputy Director General at the National School of Government. And then finally, my colleague, Stefan Morgenthaler, who's the Head of Strategic Intelligence at the World Economic Forum and a member of our Executive Committee. So I'm going to provide a brief overview of the broader collaboration between the World Economic Forum and the South African government before I hand over to my colleague Stefan, who will provide an overview of the Strategic Intelligence Platform. So the partnership with the National School of Government falls within a broad engagement between the World Economic Forum and the South African government, dating back to when President Nelson Mandela first participated in Davos in 1992, where he unveiled the ANC's economic vision and called for a society based on freedom and dignity. More recently, the World Economic Forum has partnered with the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research of South Africa to establish a Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution in South Africa. As part of a growing network of centers in 16 countries around the world, the South Africa Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution is working with governments, with businesses, with civil society, and with academia to develop and prototype collaborations and governance models to ensure that the benefits of technologies are maximized and that the risks are accounted for. These collaborations are occurring within three broad themes, the first one being the Internet of Things, the second one being blockchain and distributed ledger technology, and then the third one being data policy. Furthermore, in 2020, at our annual meeting, the World Economic Forum announced and established a partnership with the Department of Trade and Industry and Competition of South Africa to establish a skills accelerator. This is a national level public-private platform that aims to address national and industry skills gaps in South Africa to ensure that the youth are prepared for the future of work. Additionally, South Africa hosted the very successful World Economic Forum on Africa in 2019. This was hosted in Cape Town in partnership with the South African government and Ms. Vumendlini, who I worked very closely on that initiative. That was our last regional summit in Africa. However, one of the key pillars of that Africa meeting was ensuring that the region is taking the necessary steps to ensure that we're preparing for the fourth industrial revolution. And this pandemic has highlighted just how dependent we are on these digital systems, whether it's for education, for engaging in commerce and trade, or simply just for communicating amongst each other. And finally, to the point of why we're all here today, the pandemic has also highlighted that governments need to pivot away from working in silos towards adaptive, agile policymaking. And in recognition of these challenges, the National School of Government, in partnership with the World Economic Forum, has ensured that the South African civil servants will have access to the Forum's Strategic Intelligence Platform. This platform will help the South African public sector build on the work that they're already doing by giving them access to experts, benchmark studies, as well as thought leadership from trusted sources. Furthermore, it'll provide them with access to select forum events. So with that, I'm now happy to introduce my colleague, Stefan Morgenthaler, who will provide a more broader overview of the Strategic Intelligence Platform.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Chido, Excellencies, Principal, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues. It's really, as was said by my colleague and the Principal, it's really a distinct pleasure, an honor that we can launch this partnership and collaboration today. Let me just provide a little bit more context about why we at the World Economic Forum developed this platform called Strategic Intelligence, and why we think it is so important for helping stakeholders around the world in different sectors contribute to more sustainable long-term strategies. If we look at the context of the 2030 Agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals, and the kind of large-scale transformations we need to see in our economies, we feel there are three organizational characteristics that will be critical for this transition to be effective. And that is, firstly, and Chido already alluded to that, the ability to really develop cross-functional joined-up policies. It is, of course, clear that we can no longer afford siloed solutions that address just one technical part of the different areas we're dealing with, but rather require interventions that address the entire system and lead to the kind of systemic change we need to see in our economies and societies. And it's, of course, easy to say that, but difficult to put in practice. But it's also clear that an important starting point for this is the ability to have a joint understanding, a common view of the most important strategic issues and how they interact with others in a given domain in order to then mobilize the kinds of collaborations that are necessary for the response. And so, secondly, of course, this also requires new types of connections, new partnerships with external expertise. Succeeding these transitions really requires these new types of partnerships. We, as an organization, have been committed to helping nurture some of these cross-sectoral, multi-stakeholder partnerships, but we need to see more of that in all parts of society. And then thirdly, we need solutions to be technology enabled, and I think that is particularly true in the public sector. We need to ensure that capacities are augmented by the kinds of new digital technologies we have at our disposal. And so it's in this vein that we developed strategic intelligence as an asset for stakeholders to move forward along those dimensions, with the objective to better connect the dots between different topics and trends, using and building on the input and the perspectives from a very wide and diverse network of leading experts that we convene at the World Economic Forum to identify the most important issues in their domains. And but not just then looking at these issues in isolation, but surfacing the connections that are most influential in driving change. And by doing that across hundreds of different topic areas, industries, geographies, economies, global issues, we really contribute to building a global network, a graph of global transformations that we make accessible through this platform in a very simple, visual way to help stakeholders appreciate those interconnections. And then we add to this a layer of machine intelligence where we scan and integrate all the world's most relevant research and analysis from trusted sources, as we laid out in the video briefly, that contains close to 1,000 publications every day that are scanned and contribute to identifying signals and trends across this wide body of expert analysis. It's of course dynamically updated and expanded on an ongoing basis, but making this accessible in an easy way to stakeholders, including the public sector, through this collaboration, we feel is critical. And so we believe that this type of joined up thinking that systemically and systematically brings in a very diverse set of views and perspectives will ultimately help build more sustainable long-term strategies. And we're therefore extremely pleased to collaborate with the National School of Government in further developing this and particularly bringing this to the South African context. So thank you very much, and looking forward to a fruitful partnership on this.
Thank you very much for those interventions. Now, before I invite the Honorable Minister, I just want to show you the picture, which is not a comprehensive a picture, but we're showing you at least the type of relationships that this one with WEF is adding into. Relationships in the global north. We relate with universities in the US, in Europe, as well as in Asia. And of course, there's the schools of government in the continent as well. And some we're concluding in Southeast Asia, as well as in Latin America. Our view of organizing such interventions is that public servants everywhere in the world, by being exposed to such insights and information networks, they will be better, prepared to make intelligent decisions that are data-driven. We regard ourselves as the NSG as a simulator. Our argument is that if you are a pilot, you don't just only have to know how to navigate from South Africa to Geneva, but you also have to have a full sense of the aircraft or the machine that you are flying. So in aviation, a typical pilot will know all these critical parts in an aircraft. And our argument is that a senior manager needs to do the same with, even if it's a small unit you are managing, more so if you are a head of department, you need to have a complete view of the system that you are driving, including those who are elected and appointed officials, in order for them to make important decisions, which will enable them to reach their desired destination. As we say, we call ourselves a simulator. In fact, we have created a real simulator experience where we are taking public servants into a simulator in the north of Pretoria, where we're making an argument that using the information before you must be able to make a very good flight plan, which will help you successfully reach your destination. Because in aviation, there's limited room for errors, whereas in the public sector, at times, we make decisions with very minimal information. And so through this partnership, we are basically adding into this array of support system that will enable those who are in the public service to make very informed decisions, thus improving their quality. Let me request now our Honorable Minister, Ayanda Dlodlo, to make her intervention. Minister, welcome.
Thank you very much, Principal. My sincere apology. I am going to insist on switching off my video. I don't like to see my head in the way that it appears on the video. I look like some alien who doesn't know whether she's Mary or Harry. Thank you very much for indulging me. Principal, it has been a long, almost 48 hours, which started yesterday, through the whole day, the whole night, part of the process. We just took a break for people to have dinner. It started again at 12 midnight because we are having the public sector innovation hackathon with young people from across all 9 provinces of our country participating in this, culminating into a state of the hackathon address made by the minister this morning, but also me coding to come up with an application that will help us to invite rural communities to participate in providing solutions or suggestions to government on how to improve both their lives, but also improve the quality of services that are delivered to our people. One of the things that we looked at yesterday, which might be of interest as I was listening to Mr. Meganthala, on systems that are being developed in government, but also systems that are being developed inviting the youth of our country to participate in. Yesterday, we looked at systems or solutions that we could put in place to address challenges in our hospitals. Bless you, Chido. In our hospitals, from linen shortages to queue reduction. And as you would know, that linen shortages have a negative impact on the running of a hospital, which means in certain instances that up to 20 operations or surgical procedures are postponed because there's a problem with the management of linen in hospitals. And also to ensure that with that system or solution, we are able to reduce infections in hospitals. So it's both about the positive impact that comes with that is theater operations are not stopped because of lack of linen delivered at the right time, but also that we give dignity to our people for them to have access to clean linen. This might not be a problem for those who live in the first world, but these are the type of problems that we live with in our continent. But every day we find solutions to the problems that we encounter without looking east or west. We also looked at the agricultural sector, and I'm pleased to see that there were a number of solutions for the sector of the agricultural sector, where hackers use data analysis and machine learning technologies to build smart agricultural solutions and technologies, but also on knowledge management, where the capacity to work with data in the public service would always be crucial. And I was exceptionally encouraged to see them also building solutions to help us to meet this objective. But there was a lot of young people, 3 times more than we had thought we would get, all across the 9 provinces with 53 teams in place of people that are no older than the age of 35. So it was very, very encouraging. And I thought this would be my opening remarks, just to share with you what we have been doing, what we'll be doing over the past 48 hours. But just to greet on salutations to the people that are with me joining us in this meeting, my Deputy Minister, Dr. Khanapilani Majake, the Principal, the Directors General who are here with us, Mr. Munyati, and Mr. Meganthala. I do sincerely hope that I've pronounced your surnames correctly, because it is important for us to learn to pronounce one another's surnames, or at least practice before correctly. We're pleased to join you today in this very important launch of a strategic partnership between the World Economic Forum and the National School of Government on behalf of the government of the Republic of South Africa. South Africa and the World Economic Forum have enjoyed decades of warm and fruitful partnerships since our beloved founding president and world icon, President Nelson Mandela, opened the doors and attended the World Economic Forum meeting in Davos during the 1990s. We value our participation and collaboration with the World Economic Forum a great deal, and today's events open a new chapter that empowers our public sector with access to the invaluable knowledge management resource of the World Economic Forum. How I wish you would have joined us yesterday so that you could be able to guide Mr. Meganthala, some of the young minds that sit in the hackathon today, because one of the issues they're dealing with is actually knowledge management solutions. The world is increasingly becoming unavoidably interdependent and complex, thus exposing government to multiple complex and interlinked challenges, and sometimes opportunities posed by these complex complexities and disruption. And sometimes disruption is very good. Governments throughout the world, through their public administrations, are first point of call to respond to the multiple, complex, and interlinked challenges and opportunities. The only difference in terms of response is the degree of the capacity and capabilities that a certain public administration possesses. Those who lack capacity and capabilities risk being left behind, rendered irrelevant, and have their legitimacy eroded in the eyes of the people in whose name they exist. And for us right now, part of the work that we're doing as a department is developing a problem statement that will actually help us to find solutions that would be driven by first-hand knowledge of what actually is the problem, because you cannot administer medication to a patient when you have not diagnosed what the problem actually is. So it's work that is currently underway, and hopefully we'll be able to complete the problem statement sometime in April. All sectors of society depend on a well-run government with an effective and capable public administration at its core. When you build a capacity of the state, there are many problems that can be solved, such as managing conflicts, managing the economy, and managing COVID. COVID has tested the capacity of the state, not just in South Africa, but all over the world. Many countries have been devastated. An effort in a capable government is even more important for the poor people whose hopes for a decent and a better life rests mainly in government. Given this, South Africa has long committed to build and create a united, non-racial, non-sexist, democratic, and prosperous South Africa, led by a capable developmental public administration, as envisaged in our founding constitution and the National Development Plan. This call is further echoed in the African Union Agenda 2063 and the United Nations Agenda 2030, which call for strong, resilient, and capable institutions at all levels as instruments for effective governance and sustainable development. No government today can innovate and solve its problems, take advantage of emerging opportunities, and avoid potential challenges and threats if it does not use information. The government of South Africa has long held this view and encourages evidence-based policymaking to confront challenges and harness opportunities. So the collaboration with the World Economic Forum avails to the public sector of South Africa useful information on a wide range of topics through its strategic intelligence platform. The objective of this partnership is to support public sector initiatives through access to a wide array of research, insight, publications, rich media, and data for policy development, forecasting, decision-making, briefing, and other needs of government departments and public sector institutions. So this platform will complement other data sources already at our disposal and will contribute to our efforts towards evidence-based planning and policymaking, and to build a capable and professional civil service. South Africa's public sector would certainly benefit from this initiative. The United Nations and its agencies are examples of public sector institutions that also use the platform for their knowledge and information needs. I thank the National School of Government and the World Economic Forum for this partnership, which is founded on our quest to use partnerships at all levels to create a South Africa shared prosperity, strengthen multilateralism, and build a better life for all of our people through a government that they have elected. I would like to thank you very much and hope that this process goes in accordance with the wishes of those that conceptualized it and from whence it was originated. Thank you very much.
Minister, thank you very much for those kind and affirming words. We appreciate your support, yourself and the Deputy Minister, as people who don't only just supervise us, but also give us direction through the insight and the oversight that you provide to us at the National School of Government, together with other colleagues in the portfolio with whom we are working very closely. And indeed, I can confirm, Minister, that the colleagues in the other departments in the portfolio will greatly benefit as well from this, including offices of the premiers, the presidency, as well as others, because we are organizing access for them, which will assist in improving the quality of decisions that is driven by data. We do have a few moments before I ask my colleagues if I want just to test if there might be someone who may have a question. We will only take 2 questions, if any, before I ask my colleague to do a vote of thanks. I think it might be fair to give some colleagues an opportunity to ask if there's any. So you can raise your hand if you have a question. If there is any, I'm also checking on the Q&A platform. And if there are no questions, that should be okay. I can ask a question, maybe myself on behalf of others, just for ease of reference. Maybe Chido, you can answer this. Are there any other countries that have got a similar, arrangement? What has been the experience? How have they found it? Has it improved their decision making and policy making processes?
Thank you, Principal. I'll go to Stefan on this one, who's responsible for the platform.
Thank you. Indeed, so this is, I should add, a new initiative from the World Economic Forum, which we've built up over the last couple of years, but we have an organic user base, if you will, because all the content, all the knowledge is publicly accessible. So we have users in government, in business, in academia, all around the world. And actually, that's what encouraged us to actually start deeper discussions with some international organizations, some governments, to bring a more focused training and on how to best leverage those capabilities. We've done an extensive rollout here with our host government in Switzerland, and piloting different academic partnerships to scale that access and awareness. But this is really a pioneering effort with you and your colleagues at the National School of South Africa. And we hope that this will also help inspire other such efforts around the world. So thank you for your leadership and your strong engagement on this.
Okay. No, thank you. I don't see any other question, or there is a question. The question is about the significance of knowledge management in improving the public service and professionalization. Is that your experience, whether it's in the academy or in the private sector, that this does help in that regard?
Yes, absolutely. And I personally have a long background in studying knowledge management and organizational learning in organizations around the world. And through the work we do here at the World Economic Forum, we interact, of course, with organizations, whether they're private companies, businesses, public organizations, and we feel there's a strong need for having more efficient, technology-driven, more joined-up knowledge management, which looks also beyond the organization itself. A lot of these efforts have focused on better managing knowledge that is confined within a single organization, a single business, a single government, a single department. This effort on our side was to say there's so much diversity of important knowledge out there, in various, from various perspectives, various sectors, and having an efficient way of tying that together, thanks to technology that enables some of this, is a very important contribution, and hopefully opens up a lot of new opportunities within organizations across the board.
Okay, and the last question from Dr. Jorgen Pillay is, should countries create their own platforms or similar platforms, or they could rely on this as a platform that is open access, open source, and everyone can use it, or is it necessary to invest in creating your own?
Yeah, look, this is, of course, we're very happy to inspire with this other efforts. What we are focusing on is really trying to, at a macro level, the big global issues and developments, providing that as a service at a global level, trying to integrate all relevant sources of knowledge. So we'll have a dedicated team that continuously expands our content partnerships with organizations that research-based organizations. So we're the model is a very open and collaborative model, but we've of course also seen this inspire other similar efforts, and that's we're very much encouraging that, because for us it's a principle of thinking about these knowledge areas not as silos but as a system, and we want to promote and hopefully also through this partnership inspire the systemic thinking in the public sector, in the business sector, and any effort. Of course, this is one contribution to this tool, but any effort that supports that is welcome, because we feel it's an important mindset, an important characteristic for the future of government, for the future of business, and again, that's why such efforts of helping propagate these perspectives, methods, and ways of thinking about the issues as interconnected systems, and how we can effectively navigate in them, how we can build more effective collaborations. That's our intention.
Yeah, maybe in fact I must ask you this question because our leadership is here. So if you were a politician, a minister, and a deputy minister, how will this benefit you, as opposed to officials in a public institution?
Yeah, so we have seen different types of usage with this. One key element of what we want to bring into this collaboration is also the ability to for individuals at all levels to customize their own transformation maps, as we call them. So build visualizations of a particular domain and highlight the interconnected nature of the issues that are important in this domain. And so we've seen many examples of this, where this can be a very effective communication tool as well. And I think even at the higher and highest levels, supporting awareness of why we need more joined up solutions on some of these issues. This can be a very effective communication tool, and using the visual aspect of it, but then also, of course, allowing their teams and services to monitor developments and trends through the analytical features and the knowledge that is accessible through that. That's the second dimension of it.
Okay, no, great. Thank you very much. Colleagues, as indicated, we will share the link with you, including the video that was played earlier on. We do have the contacts of everybody who is attending the session now. So you will definitely get the video that was played as well as the link, so you can experiment on this on your own. So lastly, let me request my colleague Vuyelwa, who's been assisting us in creating this collaboration. And as she said, she is the one who is basically managing or coordinating South Africa's government's relationship with the WEF, and we do appreciate her assistance and her colleagues at the National Treasury. Vuyelwa?
Thank you very much, Principal, Honorable Minister, Honorable Deputy Minister, WEF colleagues, colleagues in government, and everyone who is here today. Thank you all for joining us today to celebrate this bargaining partnership between the Government of South Africa and WEF. Today's launch of the collaboration agreed between the National School of Government and WEF is an important milestone for our partnership. And I'd like to congratulate Mr. Busani Sangweni and the NSG team for putting together such a successful program and going through the motions to get us to where we are today. As we've heard, WEF Strategic Intelligence Platform is an idea born out of the need to rein in and decipher the potential impact of rapidly unfolding changes in our society, especially in an era where we are flooded with abundance of information. I view the collaboration agreement between the NSG and WEF as an important step towards depicting and analyzing the interdependencies between a wide range of developmental issues and determining how advances in one area can actually impact on others. Considering the immense benefits of the WEF platform, I do commend again the NSG for initiating this partnership. The ability to tap into the global network of experts from academia, government, business, civil society is really a strategic asset for me, for the school. Through this NSG leadership, our government looks forward to using this unique set of insights and trends to monitor key issues and forces driving transformational change across economies, industries, and global issues. Again, what I'd just like to say is that it is important that we, as we advance our thinking, we need to also think of new ways to build effective and efficient public service, as well as a capable state that will be able to drive this transformational and development agenda according to our blueprint, the plan, which is the National Development Plan. So this partnership between NSG and WEF, again, will really complement us and the NSG to building this capable state and achieving our key objectives and priorities. So in sum, I just want to thank WEF team for coming on board and working on this platform. I'd like to thank again the NSG for all that you have done and putting together this. I do hope that others and those who are on this call will really take forward the information that has been provided today, get into the website, try and see how it can benefit you and your organization, and let's make this a fruitful platform. This is only the beginning of where we can get to and what is important. And I do hope that we do make use of this partnership and what we need to achieve. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vuyelwa. Much appreciated. Can I request all the panelists, or at least the colleagues who are here on the program, including our Deputy Minister, if you can please turn on your videos so that someone is going to take a selfie of everybody who is here already. The WEF studio, they are there. Vuyelwa is there, Honorable Minister, Honorable Deputy Minister. And if you can show your videos, and then there is someone somewhere who is going to take a selfie of everyone who is here, and it is.
Are you
really,
sure it's a selfie, Busani?
it is a selfie.
How does that happen, Principal?
Yes, Marty is taking a selfie.
Okay.
Yeah, Marty, are you fine? Are you done? Marty?
Yes, Principal, I've got it.
Thank you. Thank you very much once again, Minister, Deputy Minister, much appreciated. Colleagues at the NSG, National Treasury, and our colleagues in Geneva, much appreciated. We will workshop this with some of you colleagues who are attending so that you can fully and effectively be able to utilize the platform. Otherwise, please follow our website for more details, as well as our social media platforms for more up and coming events at the National School of Government. Thank you and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.